Hello and welcome back again to the Modular DM. It's been a minute since our last video, but I'm happy to be back creating content to help the busy, lazy, and new DMs out there. On this episode, we'll be exploring an urban thieves' hideout buried beneath Galaclad, the Great Walled City. Wide stone culverts ring the inner circles of the city, transporting waste and rain away from the many homes and businesses that form the heart of Galaclad. The sides of these culverts are perforated with drain pipes varying in size from a couple inches to 6 feet tall. Beyond these drain pipes are mazes of tunnels, pitfalls, and gates spreading beneath the entirety of the city. There's one such drain pipe that is hidden from view beneath a wooden bridge on a side road. This is the secret entrance to the Basin, home of Galaclad's Thieves Guild, which is better known as the Maelstroms. Pushing through the muck into the tunnels leads to a dangerous labyrinth, which we're looking at now. First, any would-be intruders may encounter a trap activated by a pressure plate or tripwire, labeled on the map as number 1. When this trap is activated, a makeshift portcullis slams down behind them, trapping them until further exploration reveals a hidden chain that lifts it back up. The chain is located at 3 on the map. However, this exploration is hindered by another encounter. When the explorers enter this tunnel, and especially if they drop the portcullis, a gurgling sound begins to echo off the stone walls, and the muck at their feet begins to ripple. Oozes rise from the filth and attack. These oozes are identified as green squares at number 2 on the map. If they turn back from these oozes and flee down the other open tunnel, ending at number 4, a party can discover a partially dissolved skeleton, which is clearly a past victim of the oozes. This skeleton can be looted or could even be some sort of clue or a past NPC, depending on how this is tied into your adventure. Alternatively, if the party takes a different path to number 5 on the map, they can find a ladder leading to a manhole in the street above. The Maelstroms do not make use of this as an entrance or exit, as they've weakened the ladder holds so they'll snap if used, which may injure anyone invading these tunnels, and which would cause enough of a clatter to alert everyone in the basin. Should any explorers start on the correct path but get lost early on, they'll find themselves at 6 in the corner of this labyrinth, where a smudged inscription reads, "Ye who enters here be wary, not should ye tarry, for these tunnels be treacherous, and all too often yet they take the best of us." Getting back on track, the adventurers will come upon a perilous gap at number 7, a downflow dropping deep into the lower levels of the sewer. This pitfall is too far for a normal adventurer to jump, so a party would need to determine their own way to cross. Right before the exit is one last wrong turn that an explorer can take. If they take this turn, they'll find themselves facing more oozes at number 8, and if they continue, they'll come across another perilous downflow at 9. Except this one is entirely flooded, overflowing even, which leaves the tunnels past this point surprisingly clean beneath a few inches of almost translucent water. Because the entire area is flooded, it's relatively easy for a party to miss the downflow entirely. If they do, whoever's in the lead falls in and something from below gets a hold of them, causing chaos. At the DM's discretion, this could be a tentacle that grabs the adventurer, an ooze that rises up and envelops them, or anything else relevant to your adventure. During this chaos, if the oozes at 8 were missed or weren't dispatched, they could catch up now and create a difficult and interesting encounter. Moving past this downflow, the adventurers will find one more dead end. At this dead end, they'll find a cache. This cache is most likely either spare supplies hidden in this inmost part of the tunnels by the Maelstroms, or a stash of gear from an explorer who did not fare too well in navigating the labyrinth of sewers. This could even be the half-dissolved skeleton from earlier in the tunnels where the traps and oozes were. Finally, should your adventurers successfully navigate this maze of tunnels, they'll find themselves in a long, winding tunnel that shoots off in its own direction. Eventually, This tunnel ends in a large circular room with slightly sloped floor that ends in a wide downflow in the center. Chests, bunks, and tables are scattered about the edges of the room, and water drains down from the tunnel into the basin below. On any given day, various thieves can be found here in the basin, but most commonly their leader, Xander Peakthorn, is situated at one of the tables planning heists, making deals, and practicing his skills. Xander carries himself seriously and sternly, but is a prankster at heart. Once he becomes familiar with someone and begins to trust them, a lengthy process, his facade melts away, and nearly every interaction with him is punctuated with jokes and sarcasm. So, this has been The Basin, home of the Maelstroms. As usual, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and thank Matt Colville for being the inspiration that he is. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments section below and tell me all about it if you drop this into your campaign, because there is nothing better than hearing how people use my content. If you like what you saw and heard, check the description for links to the resources I used and where you can find more of my content.